Hello, everyone. Thanks for attending this session. I'm Oti Sarpong, a Senior Research Associate at the Center for Smart Infrastructure and Construction in the Department of Engineering at the University of Cambridge. And today, I'm going to talk about our submission number 5100 at the Data for Policy Conference, titled Digital Innovations in the Urban Built Environment, a Competency Framework for City Managers and Built Environment Professionals. This work forms part of the Digital Cities for Change project at the university. By way of introduction, the Digital Cities for Change project aims to deepen understanding of how city data can improve planning, management, and the delivery of public services. This involves aspects of governance to develop digital innovations that provide efficient, equitable, democratic, and trusted city outcomes for communities. There is evidence to show that the creation of smart cities through the deployment of digital innovations is rarely a silo endeavor, which is mainly about digital technologies alone or governance alone in the context of cities. These dimensions are very well closely linked. And so the overall objective of the Digital Cities for Change project is structured along 4 dimensions of public value creation. That is the governance dimension, ethics and responsible innovation dimension, and focus on digital technologies. Of course, there is an empirical context, which is the urban built environment within which the study is situated. By taking this broad view to examine digital innovations as part of smart city initiatives, we are bringing together the often discretely examined dimensions that are indeed interrelated, owing to the inherently socio-technical nature of digital innovations in the urban built environment. In doing so, we have created avenues to identify key gaps in knowledge and practice, of which the interdisciplinary need for competencies is part. By steering away from narrow technocentric views that often dominate smart cities research, in our project, we have applied a socio-technical perspective to better understand the overlapping governance and management aspects in the demand and social side, and the technical or digital components on the supply side of delivering digital innovations, for instance, a city-scale digital twin project. We have working with practitioners has also helped us to identify competency gaps in the planning, delivery, and evaluation of digital city projects. A competency here refers to knowledge and abilities individuals possess and are able to utilize to deliver specified outcomes. There are efforts by local governments who are often involved in planning and delivering digital innovations in places to bridge competency gaps that they have internally, as well as among their delivery partners. Some have done so through the formation of public-private partnerships, and others have established new roles such as chief information or chief data officers. Despite these efforts, the OECD, after a survey of almost 90 city governments on all continents, stresses that there is still a lot needed regarding the competencies of city governments to effectively lead the delivery of digital innovation projects. The emphasis is on city governments because they are often in a position to propose or lead the delivery of such digital innovation projects. In the academic literature, some studies are beginning to highlight the competency needs, but these are often in silos around the technical, governance and management, and ethical or responsible innovation dimensions of smart city projects. To note but a few examples, a study of the 73 million Virtual Singapore project highlighted that competency to guide the ethical use of granular human behavior modeling, in addition to historical database modeling and predictive analysis of future infrastructure provision, are missing among city decision makers. From a 135 million initiative in Melbourne, Australia, shortcomings in participatory citizen engagement in the development of smart city initiatives and valuing of plurality in engaging citizens for data governance were found as part of the competency gaps on the part of the local government and their delivery partners. In the UK, from a study of the Smart Cambridge project, it was revealed that there was the need for local authorities and their delivery partners to be well equipped in how to better conduct citizen engagement to boost ethical and responsible innovation in practice. From the Netherlands, a study by Van Zoenen in 2020 perhaps summarizes these competency gaps best, with a conclusion that although city managers and their delivery partners aspire to deliver what is called public good or public value in a place, they lack the capabilities to do so owing to a myriad of issues, including data governance weaknesses, and which contributes to privacy and data protection breaches. Altogether, these studies highlight the wide-ranging nature of competency gaps on the part of city managers and their delivery partners for the purposes of delivering public value through urban digital innovation projects. So the question is, how do we address these competency gaps? In our submission for this conference, we propose a competency framework, which we call the DC squared competency framework, which is designed to equip city managers with the interdisciplinary competencies needed to deliver public value through urban digital innovations. We draw on key components from various sources to define a competency here as the repertoire of knowledge and capabilities, defining how an individual should effectively function in a specific role to create public value with responsible digitalization in the urban built environment. This competency framework has been developed over 2 years using insights from a critical review of literature, an in-depth case study, and 2 expert workshops that attracted over 40 participants, comprising academics, practitioners, city managers, and technology developers. It is targeted at city managers who are understood as senior and middle level professionals working within or for urban and regional authorities whose role involves responsibility for digitalization in the urban built environment, and also collaborate with external partners and engage with communities and other relevant stakeholders for the purposes of delivering a digital innovation project effectively. The DC squared competency framework, which you see on our screen, comprises 2 main parts. The first is what you see now, a process model of digital innovation. This is what we term our 9-box model. This includes 3 stages, that is the plan, test, embed, and the enable environment, which is a constant. These 3 stages, with the exclusion of the enabling environment, effectively summarize the main stages that any digital innovation project would undergo up to the point where it becomes scaled up and widely implemented as part of the urban governance system in a place. First, this process model of digital innovation is underpinned by a socio-technical understanding and outlines the tasks for digital innovation in the urban context. This comprises the enabling environment, which, as I have initially mentioned, is a constant. For each of these stages, there are delineated activities which comprise certain visions and goals, and in the planning stage, for instance, and supporting, integrating, and actively evaluating impacts and managing risks in the embed stage. All throughout these processes, we propose that being able to assess and monitor urban socio-technical systems and their dynamics in relation to a digital innovation project is an essential task that ought to be carried out. This 3-pillar framework is to enable city managers to use the digital innovation process model. This framework describes the tasks that city managers can perform, the competencies they need to perform those tasks, and the roles that are required to effectively deploy these competencies in order to undertake the tasks that are outlined in the 9-box model, which was earlier talked about. In terms of tasks, for example, certain requirements in the plan stage defines the requirements according to a specific context. And so depending on what that context requires, there might be specific regulations that would apply. For instance, data and privacy regulations. In the plan stage, for example, the framework proposes that specific tasks must be orientated towards activities and goals such as setting visions, goals, priorities, and boundaries for digital innovation, and facilitating strategic approaches to the implementation of these actions. And in the test stage, for instance, the requirements lean towards understanding the constraints which pilot projects might be subjected to and how to overcome these constraints at the scale-up stage. To undertake these tasks, we define interdisciplinary competencies that are related to the digital governance and responsible innovation dimensions. Structuring the competencies this way is meant to highlight the cross-dimensional nature of knowledge and abilities, needed in a given role to effectively perform a set of tasks towards the creation of public value through urban scale digitalization. For instance, to ensure public value creation, we need specific competencies to anticipate the impact of these digital innovations. The roles in the competency framework are specific profiles with cross-disciplinary competencies. These are not individuals, but rather the roles are informed by an outlook on institutional settings and tasks that do not define job roles for specific persons. They rather represent combinations of competencies that are needed to successfully undertake any of the three process tasks. The ability of city managers to effectively execute the structured tasks requires processing non-siloed competencies, but rather cross-cutting ones, comprising a mix of technical, governance, and management competencies, for instance. So if we take a role that might be a champion or an implementer, for instance, at any given stage in the 9-box model, might require competencies that touch on the governance and technical, as well as ethical and responsible innovation dimensions. However, one of these dimensions might be of more prominence given the nature of the task that ought to be performed. And so in identifying specific roles that would be suitable to perform this particular task, it might require a constellation of actors or individuals who possess various strengths in different dimensions of competencies that are needed to be put together in order to effectively undertake the specific tasks at any of the stages in the 9-box model. Our proposed competency framework is positioned to guide the creation of cross-cutting competencies needed to create public value through responsible digitalization by city managers. The immediate future steps for this project involves validating the overall competency framework using real-world city case studies to strengthen its robustness across different contexts. A second step we are taking is the development of a new postgraduate course called Leading Urban Digital Innovation for Public Value. This is based directly on the competency framework, which has been designed in order to equip the next level of urban built environment professionals, as well as city managers, in order to equip them with the skills and knowledge and understanding necessary to set them on the path to identifying and developing competencies within their organizations and across their supplier networks for the delivery of digital innovation projects effectively. The course that we are developing aims to equip current and future city leaders with these competencies that we have described. We are grateful to all the people who have contributed. I'm grateful to all the people who have contributed to the development of our project, that's the Digital Cities for Change project. If you are interested to know more about our work, the competency framework and the postgraduate course, please scan the QR code and contact us. Thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to discussing your questions. Thank you.